Hello, and welcome to Griffon Update. I'm Micah Cummins.
And I'm Brent Rosenauer. Griffon Update is our student-produced digital magazine show bringing you news, sports, and information from Missouri Western State University and the surrounding region.
During each program, we will present an in-depth look at the people, places, and events that make Missouri Western and the Northwest region of Missouri a great place to call home.
On today's show, we take a look at some major accomplishments from the Craig School of Business and the women's basketball team.
We'll also give you a look at Missouri Western's latest theatrical production and spotlight one student whose sound designs bring a touch of reality to Missouri Western theater productions.
But first, what is school spirit without some fun competition and student involvement? Missouri Western's Activities Council recently hosted a talent competition that showcased Western students' hidden talents.
Reporters Jasmine Taylor and Brendan Welch were on the scene to witness all of the singing and impressive dance moves.
That was just one of the sounds coming from Sprat 101 at this year's Western's Got Talent competition.
It's still Spain, by the way.
The contest is hosted by WAC each year as a way to show off Western's talent. The first to take the stage in 2016 was Taryn Wade, with a unique performance.
Love it. It's one of my favorite hobbies to do. You can do it whenever you want. You don't need an instrument. You just do it while you're walking.
The competition featured mostly musical acts, including singing, instrumentals, and even dancing. And, of course, even more dancing.
What I like most about stepping is I get to interact with the crowd. I get a chance to, do a piece of my heritage, that I never knew before I joined the fraternity. So, other than that, it's just more of I get to get out of my comfort zone and I get to interact with people. That's what I like about it.
While the talent show was mostly for fun, there were prizes. Third place winner Deanna Hitzer was no stranger to the stage, but said the surprisingly large number of students in the audience threw her off a little.
And I'm never gonna shut you out.
When I came into this building, I heard like a sound of a crowd, and I wasn't imagining that couldn't be the talent show. But then I came here and it was like, it is the talent show. And I get the nerves every time I see a crowd that big.
The competition was a tough one to call, but judges were happy to experience the variety of talents Western students possess.
The singing and the music, it's nice. So you get to see all this talent.
And many people felt the talent show was a good way to get in touch with the student body.
I think going to school, like events, helps build school spirit, helps you meet other people that you may have not even gave the chance to before you gave to that event or whatever's going on.
For Griffon Update, I'm Jasmine Taylor.
That was definitely a night you didn't want to miss.
If you did miss out this year, no worries. Western's Got Talent is an annual event, so make sure to set your calendar so you can catch all of the talent for next year. For more information on the talent show, go to missouriwestern.edu/WAC to stay updated.
One other place that exudes school spirit are the residence halls. From pendants to posters, every student is unique. Griffon Update reporter Juna Rizuma got a look into the homes of several Griffons living in the residence halls. Take a look at what she learned.
Inside the beautiful campus of Missouri Western State University holds close to over 3,000 students housed in the residence halls. How do they make themselves at home, you ask? They decorate.
Well, my color scheme, my favorite color is pink, so, everything pink. That's pretty much it. I wish to definitely add more decorations for the room, because, I really wasn't like, oh, let me do this, decorate this. I want to get a little more creative. When I first went shopping, I was excited. I was like, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, pillows, sheets, and everything, and a lot of stuff, and food especially. But it was an exciting experience to know that I'm gonna be in college on my own, basically like living in my own apartment.
I live in Scanlon Hall with Patricia Natalia Milford.
As a newcomer, each student experiences similar situations, some of which aren't as good.
My experience living in the dorms is fine. I don't have any problems within the room. But so far as the bathroom, I have a problem with the showers because like 50% of the time we don't have hot water. I would like to add more Bath & Body Works lotion, spray and body wash because I love Bath & Body Works, and some more nail polish colors because I love to do my nails. Something I might add as decoration to my room would probably be posters on my wall and inspirational quotes all over the wall.
Although freshmen may take dorm decorations serious, so do the people who've been in their place a time or two before.
I stay in Griffon Hall. I've been at Missouri Western for 3 years now. It's kind of different just from moving from a bigger room to a smaller room. You know, I don't have as much space, so I don't have as much, decorations going around. I chose these decorations because, I mean the colors pop together. I'm more of a chill person, so my colors go with me. The view that I have right now is the pond. It's kind of relaxing just to be able to wake up to that, and the nice breeze coming from the water, and so it kind of helped with the way my room is kind of set up.
Griffon, it's pretty nice. I like the fact that, we have a kitchen. I can cook whenever I want to. The only thing I don't really like about it is that the walls are very thin. I have decorations around my room to remind me to keep a positive outlook on life. Have a dream is a wish the heart makes. I put that on top of my bed so that I could, I think it helps me dream better.
You've seen it here for yourself. Decorations in the dorms are not only important, but also a calming reminder that there's always a finish line while in college. This is Juna Rizuma with Griffon Update. Thank you.
Thanks, Juna, for the great insight on the lives of students. For more snippets of dorm decor, check out the 2016 Griffon Yearbook.
We're going to take a short break, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, so tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Paul. That's short for polyethylene terephthalate. I like long walks on the beach and soda pop.
Me too.
And I'm just looking for someone to spend the next 450 years with. I'm not decomposing anytime soon.
I'm not sure I'm ready for that type of commitment.
But wait!
Maybe it's time to break it with Paul. Use reusable beverage containers and recycle plastic bottles.
Welcome back. Missouri Western's Craig School of Business was just reaccredited by the Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business, the most prestigious accreditation a business school can obtain. We join reporter Sydney Holzfaster for an in-depth look at the business school's reaccreditation.
Western's Craig School of Business is pleased to announce the reaccreditation from the Association for the Advancement of Collegiate Business Schools.
The application process, the original application process, is actually a 5-year process, which we went through from 2005 to 2010. And then every 5 years you go through a reaccreditation, which is what we just did. And that is an affirmation of the quality of the program. They look at the credentials of the faculty, they look at the quality of the students, they look at our program and make sure that as we're offering our program, we're also measuring whether or not the students are learning what they need to learn for the employers out there.
That is probably as good a market as we have, is attracting students worldwide from India, China, Latin American countries, etc. I think that is one of the first things we're asked when we do international recruiting is, do you have that highest level of accreditation? And we have, and we continue to have it, so we're very pleased, and I think that will be very helpful. And it's also helpful with domestic students as well, because they certainly want the highest level of accreditation and all that goes with it in terms of the distinction of going to a school that follows the AACSB guidelines.
Students and families are always looking for evidence of quality in an academic program, and I think this is just another way, another marker of that, another way of making sure that there's very high quality. This is a voluntary accreditation that we applied for. We asked for this review, and it is a very high standard. It's the highest that can be attained in business areas. So we're very proud of that. We think that it really is another marker of quality in the program for our students. I think expansion probably is really important, in terms of our offering opportunities for our students in entrepreneurship areas. And in entrepreneurship, we think that what we can learn there, what students can learn there, can really have a very beneficial effect, not just if they decide to own their own businesses, but the things that they learn through those courses will help them be better employees as well as good business owners. So it isn't just for one path.
A great deal. Most of them opt for an internship. And of course, most students that work internships get offers from the company at which they intern, so it really is beneficial. We also have the only entrepreneurship program that results in a student getting a franchise opportunity when they graduate. And we, as of today, have 21 franchises up and operating around the country for graduates since 2009. So I think there are a lot of advantages to our program.
This is Sydney Holzfaster reporting.
That's a great accomplishment for Western. For more information on the WACSB accreditation and the Craig School of Business, visit missouriwestern.edu/business.
Speaking of policymakers, for the first time in 3 years, the position of President and Executive Vice President of SGA were contested. Brendan Welch was at the presidential debates to ask about the hot-button issues.
These are the topics of transparency that we need to be focusing on.
The issue of transparency was just one of the topics discussed at the SGA Presidential Debates. It is the first time in several years that the positions of Student Body President and Executive Vice President have been contested. Candidates were asked a series of questions by Griffon News staff and were given the opportunity to speak and rebut. Vice presidential candidates were the first to take to the podiums, and things got heated.
I think tonight went really well. It was nice to get a few points out there. It got a little hostile, which I didn't expect. I wish it hadn't, because the main issue right now is the students. It doesn't matter what's going on between the candidates.
McDonald said the issue seemed to be that his opponent's platform was based on problems that he and Stanton had already been working on.
By voting for them, you're not getting anything done. By voting for Brad and I, you're getting something done. Clearly, we act on our ideas. They haven't been able to prove that they've acted on a single idea that they brought forward.
Both parties vowed to make SGA more accessible for students and promised to engage the student body more. The Stanton-McDonald campaign said that they would like to improve Western's technology by allocating $68,000 to the Student Success Act to be used to improve computers on campus and the Wi-Fi network. Guy and Salmon is focused on RSOs, stating that organization presidents should know what SGA can do for them. Both parties stated that they would try to create a feeling of inclusion on campus for everyone. Guy stated that he had met with the gentleman of color and was planning on meeting with the Black Student Union in order to find ways to better represent minorities on campus. But Stanton claimed that Guy had abstained from legislation that he wrote that meant to take a stand against discrimination. This brought the tension back, prompting a small outburst from Salmonis, who said the only reason Guy abstained was to further the discussion on the bill.
There were definitely times of hostility where we kind of focused on each other more so than we should on the issues, but I think that's all very healthy. You kind of have to have these kind of different conflicting views in order to make progress and to consider different viewpoints.
Hayden and I really want to speak our plans, speak our minds, and speak our goals, and our opposition sometimes just kind of spoke ethereal plans that don't necessarily have a way to materialize. So I think that dissonance kind of created the clash that you saw play out in the debates.
Current student body president Ida Hafner is not endorsing any candidate, but thought each party did well in the debate.
Done really well, definitely putting out their opinions, and I think they, got a little heated at some points, but I think they did a really good job at keeping that camaraderie as well.
For Griffon Update, I'm Brendan Welch.
Both sets of candidates thought the debates went well, despite some tense moments.
Speaking of theatrics, Brent, what do you think of when you hear The Marriage of Figaro?
Well, let's see. Big hair, bright fluorescent colors, and flock seagulls.
Really?
Yeah, and after seeing Missouri Western's adaptation of the classic French play, you would too. The Marriage of Figaro opened earlier this spring, set uniquely to an 80s theme. Executive producer Jenny Swope takes you behind the curtain of this totally tubular show.
Have him listen to truth since he is too poor to pay for parasites and lions, sir!
This spring, Missouri Western presented a theatrical classic with a twist. The Marriage of Figaro is a French restoration piece written in 1784 by Pierre Beaumarchais. The role of Figaro is played by Missouri Western senior Thomas Delgado.
The story of The Marriage of Figaro centers around Figaro trying to marry his fiancée as his girlfriend, Susan. And there is many people that are trying to either stop it from happening or continue to grant it to happen. And so a bunch of trouble comes up while they're trying to get married.
Delgado finds a common connection with Figaro in the way they each view the world.
I see a lot of myself in Figaro. I like to ask a ton of questions. He would rather have nothing than lie and cheat and steal his way to get to the top. And I think that this generation, this society now kind of thinks that that's how things need to be ran, and it's not.
To present the story to a modern audience, director Trevor Belt took some liberties with the setting of the play, moving it from 1700s Seville to 1980s Miami.
We thought that the 1980s Miami scene paralleled a lot of paralleled Restoration theater, because in the 1780s, during this time period, it was about the lavish costumes and presentation, and everything was about being bigger and larger than life. And we thought, what's a more relatable period than the 1980s, which are bigger and larger than life?
Skyla Booth, who played the role of the Countess, had a lot of fun getting into the time period.
It has been so much fun. The set is beautiful, beautiful colors, pinks and oranges and yellows, and that's been great. The costumes are probably my favorite part. We've got the big hair wigs. All of us girls have these huge wigs. I have some shoulder pads in my costume, which is fun. They're all bright colors. Just kind of give a little modern twist to an older play, which has been really fun for us.
But the 80s aspect of it has just really brought out that script in ways that I wouldn't have even thought of.
Restoration pieces traditionally focused on pure comedy or romance, but Figaro was unique for its time by introducing some controversial topics.
In the first time in a Restoration piece, it treated the people of higher stature as the idiots or the morons or the people that didn't know what they were doing, and treated Figaro, the servant or the main character, as the person who had all his ducks in a row, so to speak.
The Marriage of Figaro ran for 2 weekends, opening on February 19th and closing on the 27th. For more information on the theater department or to purchase show tickets, visit mwsutix.com. This is Jenny Swope for Griffon Update.
That was such a clever adaptation.
Yes, it was, and I just love the sounds of the theater.
The sounds of what?
The theater. In our new Artist Spotlight segment, reporter Christina Wade gets behind the scenes of theatrical sound design with Missouri Western senior Chris Rail.
Cinema student Chris Rail spends his days in the classroom and his nights in the theater. Chris works as a student sound designer for Missouri Western Theater Productions, bringing life and energy to the plays he works on.
I've been working since JB in different technical aspects, but the first audio sound show I did was A Mice and Men, which built a really nice soundscape. I did 3 Days of Rain, which were both 2 straight plays. I did my first musical during the summer, Into the Woods, and then also did Fantastics that summer too with the Western Playhouse. I did Cabaret, and I'm actually getting geared up right now for Godspell.
Chris came over from quote-unquote cinema. Even though we're a blended program, he was a cinema-focused person. The thing that was nice is Chris wanted to challenge himself, and he wanted to learn more about sound. In fact, he's probably one of the best sound designers we have currently in the theater. The combination of his close attention to detail, his technical proficiency, and a big dash of his maturity. Chris picked up on QLab quite quickly, which is a software program that we use to run sound effects and also to control microphones. The sound design for theater actually has a couple of different aspects to it. Setting the mood by using the music. Another thing that sound designers do is help create sound effects. Sound designers are usually responsible for going out and finding those sound effects and putting them in. And then the third thing the sound designer does, we can have up to 16 different lav mics, and the sound designer / operator will be in the back of the house actually live controlling the balance between the music and the singer on stage.
The sound design process for a show starts early in the rehearsal schedule and lasts until the final curtain call.
I actually start pulling out the script, read through the script. If it's in a straight play, I'll talk to the director what sound effects they want. I'll bring all the sound effects to them that I found. If it's a musical, then I have to talk with the musical director and the composer and just everybody and get everything all pulled together. I did A Mice and Men a few years ago. The cool part was actually we do a time period piece. You get to go back and listen to all the music for the time period. You're trying to find out what actually falls in, because when I first read it, it was like, okay, 20s, so I went big band. And it's like, that's not big band. It's not depressing enough. And so I found there's a whole different type of music in that time period.
Chris has also received recognition at the theater festival KCACTF.
KCACTF, this is my second year going, which stands for the Kennedy American College Theater Festival. They recognize everything from acting to technical work to just kind of a little bit of everything in it. I took my sound design for 3 Days of Rain for the Design Tech Expo, so it's for all the designers all in our area, kind of talk about what we did and why we did it, and it's voted on by all the faculty in our region. I won second place in our district.
Chris turns to his friends and family for support.
Chris is a friend. He's been a great guy to hang out with. We met our first year doing 48 Hour, and there was something about this guy that I was like, I want to hang out with you more. When he did sound design for Mice and Men, it really did feel like I was out in the woods. You can hear the water creaking, the birds chirping, and that helped me and Steve as an actor to really put ourselves in that environment.
Actually, I wouldn't be able to do any of this without the support. First of all, my wife Jen, she supports me a lot in it, and she even helps me sometimes. If I get stuck on a sound effect or I get stuck on, I'm like, what do I do? I don't know what to do, and she'll help me on those things. She's always kind of my support and my rock for doing these things, because when showtime kicks in, technical week kicks in, I get very exhausted. She's actually a lot of times, she can bring me down, talk me off a ledge. Sometimes I need that more than actual just technical advice. And the kids always remind me of why I'm doing what I do. It's really neat, especially because one of my sons are now starting to get into the technical aspect of theater, and 3 of my kids do theater now, and one of them's like, I love making my own sound, I love making my own stuff, so he's getting into it, so that's really neat. It reminds me of what it was like to get excited about it, and when I watch him, I remind myself to get excited about each new show that I get into.
Chris plans to take his craft beyond Missouri Western to work as a sound designer for other theaters around the country.
The big thing with audio I love is the fact that people shouldn't realize it's there, but they do know it's there. It shouldn't be a distraction to the people on stage. And it's twofold for me. I want the audience to feel like they're in this world that's taking place. For like Mice and Men, we want them to feel like they're in this bunkhouse, and they feel like they can hear the crickets at night, and they can hear the birds and the dogs barking, and they feel like they're on the farm. And the actors on top of that, the second part of it is I want the actors to feel like they're part in this world. Like with 3 Days of Rain, we had massive amount of rain sound effects, obviously. And the theater that I was in, at first I thought it was a real hindrance because the speakers sit above the heads of the audience. But we were able to make that work to our advantage, because then we can make the audience feel like they're actually sitting in the apartment with these 2 characters while it's raining on top of their heads. I always feel like sound's this other actor on stage that people don't ever see, but they hear it and they know it's here. And when sound messes up, everybody knows it's there. But the goal is that no one realizes it's there, and it just plays along with everything. So it's like a full immersion into the show and the world that we're creating.
This is Christina Wade for Griffon Update.
To hear Chris Rail's sound design for yourself, be sure to check out Missouri Western's Godspell, opening April 8th. For more information on that show, check out mwsutix.com.
Actually, I'm going to do that right now while we take a short break.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile! Dang it.
To the invisible jet! Dang it. Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
And we're back. Hey, Micah, have you had the chance to journey over to Pollard Hall and tour all the awesome artwork on display for the National Ceramics exhibitions?
No, I haven't, but it sounds pretty interesting.
Well, you're in luck. Reporter Heather Gronke takes us on a tour through its many offerings.
Well, it's that time again. Missouri Western, for the 3rd time, is hosting Off the Table Plates for the Wall National Ceramics exhibition in the Potter Art Gallery. You can expect to see a variety of artwork, ranging from loud and vivid colors to unique and individualistic designs.
We have a selection of cups. It's called Twin Cups, and so they're ceramic cups that have a relationship to each other. Each artist brought in 2, and in some cases they're very similar, in some cases they're more dissimilar, just depending on the artist's vision. And then the second exhibit is Off the Wall, and artists created plates that would be shown on the wall.
There are 49 artists in 31 states, so 31 states are involved. So it's pretty wide-ranging, and the artists who actually create these things, some of them work full-time as ceramic artists. They sell their work in galleries and museums and street fairs, websites. That's become a pretty important thing in the art world.
No one plate or set of cups is the same.
But they're made by individuals. You know, one person sat down and made this set of cups or made this one plate. Some artists make, you know, mostly functional things. They're unique to the individual. No two people making a cup are going to make the same cup. No two people making a plate are going to make the same plate. These have something special. They're made by individuals. Some of them have something of social consequence to talk about. Some of them are just beautifully made pieces that feel great in your hand. It's a great time to see something that's just made by another human being. And I think we lack some of that in our lives right now.
I think it's just a delight for the eyes. You can come over and see what a range of ceramic artists are doing throughout the country. You're not going to see this anywhere else in town, and it's a real chance to see it up close and personal, not just from a photograph on the web. There's a great variety. There's just amazing talent and expression, and who wouldn't want to come look at that?
The gallery, located in Potter Hall, is open from 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. The exhibition will be ending on March 25th, so you better mark your calendars because this is something you don't want to miss. This has been Heather Gronke reporting.
You can check it out anytime between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday at the front entrance of Potter Hall. Better hurry though, because the exhibitions will be coming to an end on March 25th.
It's been a monumental year for Griffon basketball. To tell you all about it, here's Amari Martin with Griffon Update Sports. Take it away, Amari.
Welcome to Griffon Update Sports. I'm your host, Amari Martin. First, we must acknowledge the Griffon women's basketball team on being MIAA conference champs. Now, the last time they held this title was in 2002. Sports reporter Cortrez Colbert witnessed the Griffons cutting down the net after a big win over Washburn.
I can't even begin to explain myself. I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm proud of the girls.
Our coach said he wrote on the board was play angry. I feel like they've been disrespecting us since we've been here.
Played angry, that's what the Griffon women did. A special night for the Griffons as they clinched a share of the MIAA championship. LaQuinta Jefferson being honored for reaching 1,000 career points in just 2 years.
They're special. You know, it's hard. You look at, I've been at 30 years and, you know, I've been fortunate, like I said, to win national championship, to win conference championships. But each team brings back its specialness, what they're special, and for me and for this team, it's proof. It's proof that what I've done for the last 30 years still works.
The Griffs are ranked 7th in the country with the record of 25-2, the best record in program history.
We still have a conference tournament. We still have NCAA tournament. So we're really ecstatic and we're going to enjoy it for tonight. But as soon as tomorrow hits, we're ready for the next.
Been in it long enough to know when my teams are special, it's about the players I have and my coaching staff. I try to do a good job of surrounding myself with great people. And I've got great staff and I got great players. And those people make me look really good.
The number 7 ranked Griffons are now headed to the NCAA tournament. This is the first time since 2004. After a tough loss to Emporia State, the Griffs received the number 3 seeding and will face Arkansas Tech in the first round. Now, the men's basketball team concluded their season, but they did not go down without a fight. The Griffons found their way to Kansas City by defeating Washburn, but fell short to Missouri Southern, ending their season with a record of 12-18. On this week's segment of One-on-One, I sat down with 2 siblings who brought their basketball talents all the way from Rewanga, Fiji to Missouri. Take a look at my one-on-one with Millie and Mataika Koi Manavore. Welcome to the show, Mataika and Millie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your experience when you first played basketball in Iowa and then playing here.
Well, when I first came to Iowa, it was a little hard adjusting, so it took a while for me to get going. But after 2 years of experience in playing in college, I think I've totally, turned into a totally different player, a little more aggressive and, shooting the ball a little better, but yeah.
What about you, Taika?
It was a good thing that we started off at junior college because, it was to adjust to American basketball style. I think that was a good thing for us. And then even though we were at 2 different schools, we've always had the dream to play at the same school at one point. So Missouri Western was a good thing for us.
How did that happen? Coach Ed brought you here, and then Mataika comes, and then he also brought in your cousin Limba.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was getting recruited and I first came to Missouri Western on my visit, it just felt right. I was looking for a school that wasn't too big and wasn't too small, and I think, Missouri Western was that for me. And just being around the coaches and the players just felt right, like, I had kind of like a family. And so when I'd committed here, it was because I thought about him because he was 2 hours away from this school. And then when he came here, it felt good.
What about you, Tom?
Well, Coach Weiberg was recruiting another player besides me, and he came across a video of me playing, and that's when he saw what I could bring to the team, and he wanted me to come. He offered me a scholarship to come here.
I remember in the preseason, I was walking in the gym, and I saw you shooting around with the guys, and I'm looking at you like, he looks so familiar, and then I see you two together, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together that you guys were siblings. How does it feel being able to play with each other at the same school?
It feels great, having him around here, because I don't really have, my parents and my other siblings here. Just having at least him, I have someone to talk to. I don't have the best games every, time I step on the court, and I always tell him about everything, and he's always there to support me and vice versa. So it's good having him around.
Yeah, like I said before, we were junior college, but even though we were in the same conference, we only saw each other play once or twice, and only when we played each other's school was when we saw each other. So being able to watch her play every time she plays here is a good feeling, and knowing that she's there supporting me on the sideline as well.
So you guys, if you played one-on-one, who would win?
Me.
I'm not even gonna lie, I probably would not have any chance of beating him.
So tell me a little bit about what goes on in Fiji. What do you do when you wake up in the morning, you walk outside to the beach? What do you do every day?
Well, we leave 5 minutes by 5 minutes away from where the beach is, but we usually walk and work out. We run along the seawall, and so.
And we actually went to primary school right.
Yeah,
opposite
we
the
live
beach,
right across. Our primary school is right across, so it was good. The fresh breeze and just that scenery. Very tempting at times to go out there and swim, but we weren't allowed. So, but yeah, just the feel, the scenery and the view, it was great.
In Fiji, do you have AAU basketball or a club team that you play on?
We play club basketball at home. There's no pro league, there's no semi-pro league, so it's for the fun of it, and I guess your passion for the sport that drives you. It drives Basketball Fiji back home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we played in high school, and my sisters and I were part of a basketball club at home, which is, formed by just people of the community.
Yeah, and we're from Rewanga, and Rewanga is the heart of basketball in Fiji. So we were lucky enough that our parents grew up in Rewanga, and we were able to grow up playing basketball too.
Yeah. My parents played sports back home. My dad played rugby for the community, and my mom played basketball with her sisters, and her sisters played for the national team, and we followed right in their footsteps. So
think of it as basketball back home is just this huge extended family playing basketball.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. I heard that you guys play a sport called netball.
Yeah, I do. I did. Growing up, I played for my primary school, high school, and played club netball, and I had a few tryouts for the national under-21 team, and I tried out for the national team, but yeah.
Mataiga, did you play netball as well?
Yeah, there's men's and mixed netball,
Men's and
yeah,
mixed, yeah.
we play for the same club.
Yeah.
So explain to me, how does that work? So what is it, like basketball, or do you?
It's just like basketball without dribbling.
And
there's some certain rules.
And the goals don't have backboard, and it doesn't have a backboard, so.
That's interesting. We should get that here at Missouri Western.
So that's where I got my shot from.
Yeah. I don't have a shot because I was never a shooter. I was the mid-court player, so I didn't ever shoot in netball. You have specific shooters for netball, and
So do you have any big plans or future goals that you want to achieve after you graduate school?
Just, when I go back home, I'd love to continue playing for my country. It's always, good to wear the jersey with Fiji across my name. I always have pride in it. And actually, my brother, me, and my sister, we played for our national team this past summer in Papua New Guinea, and we actually won gold. My brother won silver. But we qualified for the World Champs qualifiers in Asia for next year, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Well, good luck to you guys the rest of the season, and congrats on winning the conference.
Thank you.
And good luck to you guys in the rest of the season as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Stay tuned for more one-on-ones with Amari Martin. For more information about Griffon sports, go to gogriffons.com.
Thanks, Amari, and congratulations again to the women's basketball team on the championship win.
And that brings us to the end of our show, but we have one last update for you. MWTV Channel 39 is moving to Channel 12 on April 6th. So in order to keep up with Griffon Update after April 6th, follow us to Channel 12.
You can also catch us on the Griffon Update Vimeo channel and the Missouri Western Student Media homepage.
For all of us here at Griffon Update, thank you for watching.